What's up, my crypto legends? The Bitcoin price today and Ethereum and Polkadot we're going to discuss. As you can see, nothing has changed just too much. We are slightly dipping here to the downside. The longer we consolidate sideways inside of this region, the more bullish I'm going to become, and I'm going to show you why in this episode. We could dip as low as $51,000, $52,000 range, and we are still going to be in this very, very healthy uptrend, as you can see, getting supported from these higher lows. Today we're going to discuss about Bitcoin on the 1 hourly to see what could happen in the immediate short term. Also Ethereum and Polkadot, guys, I think is just getting ready for a little bit of volatility before we continue to the upside, so make sure to stay tuned. Hello there, Andy here. Welcome back to another episode of Bitcoinsensus. New to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Daily TA, Bitcoin on crypto, and also do live stream to connect with the community, not financial advisor. Don't pass out anything that I say. Now, guys, like I mentioned yesterday, it was very likely to see a little bit of dippy action. We're going to take a look at the 1 hourly chart, but first, let's look at the macro, okay? We need to zoom out when we are in doubt. There are a lot of people in doubt right now. Has the bull run ended? Are we going to continue to the downside? Well, in my opinion, no. But yes, we could see some volatility to the downside. Of course, remember, we are in neutral on the fear and greed index, okay? We've been extremely greedy for the last few weeks, okay, while we were going up here in October and part of November. So we need to see a little bit of volatility to the downside. We need to get people scared, all right, to find out that opportunity again here in the market. Now, like I mentioned yesterday, but yesterday we did not mention this massive uptrend from these higher lows that we created here from the summer in October. As you can see, these higher lows, the Bitcoin price could still go sideways and slightly to the downside here, hitting this major support range, and this would be around about that $51,000, $52,000, and $53,000, depending on where we're going to dip down to those levels, all right? So it will still be extremely bullish. Remember, when you are in a corrective move, you don't really exactly know when you are going to finish. If you're going to take the fib levels, you could go to the extreme low level here, which would be the golden pocket, and this is down at the $50,500 range, okay? So it would still be a nice healthy correction from a massive uptrend, so we could come as low as $50,500, and we will still be looking pretty healthy, okay? As you can see here on the chart, this range over here is going to be supported by these higher lows, so there's nothing to worry about just yet here for BTC. Now, if we do break this trend, and we'll get to that if it does happen, then of course, yes, we might be changing the trend here to a downtrend, because we might be creating a really huge macro lower high, but we'll get to that if that happens. And for the moment, it is still looking relatively bullish, even though we dip down here to that $51,000, $52,000 range, as you can see here on the chart. Now, yesterday we were mentioning about this descending wedge, okay? Remember, we are coming from a huge uptrend, guys. Don't get too bearish, okay? You are looking for the opportunities here on this retracement, because at some point, and I believe so, that we are going to reverse very strongly, guys. Remember, we are in an uptrend, and the trend is your friend, right? So we are just in the correction. Now, if this does play out, the longer we do go sideways here on this inside of this kind of descending wedge pattern, the more bullish I am going to become. If we do create slightly lower lows here again and then have a nice bounce, this is the moment that I'm going to become extremely bullish. When you break a support level slightly and you have a massive bounce this means you are bottoming out. The same when you're breaking resistance. When you slightly break the resistance, it's very likely you are going to reverse to the upside, to the downside. The same what happened right over here. This is the kind of price action that we do not want to see to the upside. When you slightly break the highs, as you can see here, then it's very likely you're going to have a turning over point. So the same here for support levels. If you slightly breaking the lows, there will be a moment that you are going to reverse, because the bears don't have any steam to continue to the downside, all right? So let's hope that this is going to happen in the next coming days. We're basically going to consolidate 56,000, 55, 58, who knows? Now let's take a look at the 1 hourly chart to see where the price could potentially go in the next coming hours. Now, we were talking about this potential inverse head and shoulder. There was not a successful breakout. As you can see from this major resistance of these lower highs on the 1 hourly, we can also see that we could see this descending broadening wedge. Now this could still play out, guys. We could come much lower and we're still going to be inside of this massive descending broadening wedge. It does look like that the bears are kind of losing steam here a little bit. So let's see in the next coming hours if we start going lower and break this low. It is not going to be looking too great. Okay, we need to stay above the $55,700, $600 range, okay, which is this low over here. As long as we stay above this range and continue to the upside, then this is the moment that it's going to be looking very, very bullish for BTC. Now, if we break this low, it's not going to be looking very, very good. We might come down, at least to the $54,000, $53,000 range. Very, very possible. We should be getting some pretty decent support. And the reason why is because of the high here that we created back in September, and also the massive consolidation that we had here before continuing to the upside. So it is a level where we should be getting heavily supported around this range, just above this box. We should be getting heavily supported because of the consolidation and the highs of September being in between that $53,000, $54,000 range. Now, let's take a look at Ethereum, because there's nothing much to add here, guys. Now, if we did break this resistance, which in this case it would be around about the $59.5 thousand with a huge candle, okay, on the 1 hourly, even better on the 4 hourly, looking at this chart with a nice close and high volume, then this is going to be looking very, very bullish. We might have a nice leg up to that $63,000 range, okay, $63,000, $64,000, depending on when we're going to break. If it's in the next coming hours or tomorrow, we could have a nice leg up to that $63,000, where this is exactly where this massive support is, as you can see, and resistance. So it does, make sense if we are going to see this kind of price action and break the resistance to hit those levels. And this is where we are going to get heavily rejected, very, very likely because of this massive resistance. But still, looking at the chart, Bitcoin is looking bearish until we don't, if we do not break this resistance, this is not going to be looking bullish. We might continue to the downside to hit those $64,000, $63,000 range. Guys, make sure to subscribe, because I do live streams and connect with the community. So make sure to subscribe and smash that like button. Remember, if you're an experienced trader, Femex has got the best bonus available right now, up to $4,100 worth of bonus by using my link in the description. PrimeXBT, my favorite day trading platform. You get 50% added to your deposit by using Bitcoinsensus 50 as a promotion code, and my link in the description. So let's dive in straight here into Ethereum, because Ethereum also, nothing has changed just too much. Yesterday, we were talking about the potential dead cat bounce and coming to much lower levels, such as $4,000, $3,800 range. Okay, as you can see, we did have a nice drop here. We were hitting resistance, as you know, on yesterday's video. I'm not going to say it again, okay? We've got the resistance right over here from these lower highs that should be turning into heavy support. And also the higher lows here, major support level. Also, you can see it just crosses here around about the 29th of November. If we start going to these levels, we should be getting very, very strong support. And in my opinion, it's going to be a great buying opportunity. And the reason why I think that we could go down to those levels before we continue to the upside, all right, there's two scenarios. We either consolidate around where we are right now above $4,000 and continue to the upside, or we slightly dip and hit that $3,800 region and then continue to the upside, all right? I do not see us dropping below 3,400, okay, here on the Ethereum price. It's very, very unlikely. We should be getting supported around this range. Now, zooming in here on the 1 hourly, I know we were seeing also this scenario. This was mentioned a few days. There is a possibility of forming an inverse head and shoulder right over there. And then on yesterday's video, I was, slightly bearish. I did see this as a potential fake out because of the volume, because it was the weekend. I wasn't very convinced of this breakout. It was very, very likely to get rejected at this region. And also, you are hitting, that golden pocket range, 50% level from the Fibonacci, okay, from the highs, even from this high here, when the drop really starts right over there to the low, you can see that you are hitting that range, okay, of 62% Fibonacci retracement during the weekend. So yeah, it was a kind of an A, B, C kind of correction, okay, and then we are coming to lower levels. Now, what do I expect in the next coming hours and days? Well, there is a possibility that we might go to lower levels only because of the volume, okay? Unless we do successfully break this major resistance, which is at the $4,400 range, okay? If we suddenly see a nice great green candle here with volume, then it's going to be looking pretty good for Ethereum in the immediate short term. Very, very likely we'll be hitting the all-time highs in the coming days if this happens. But You know that I'm a price action guy. I go with the trend and I go with volume. It is pretty clear we've broken the uptrend here to the downside with volume. Okay, now on these retracements we are having very low volume, so the most likely scenario is that maybe Ethereum is going to come to lower levels, and we need to get ready because this is the moment where we might be finishing this huge kind of ABC correction right over there, where this is the A, this is the B, this is the C, consolidate and continue then to the upside. All right, this is very, very possible, something to pay attention in the next coming days. We've got heavy support at 4,000, okay, $3,800 range. These are the levels where we need to pay attention and potentially step in with some long trades. As you can see, heavy support here for Ethereum. Let's take a look at Polkadot. Quick update on Polkadot, because Polkadot did have a little bit of a fake out yesterday. Remember, extremely bullish. I am on Polkadot just because we have seen that massive correction already, guys. You don't usually see, okay, a waterfall, in this case. Now, this could happen. You could have a black swan or a panic sell-off. Okay, this could happen. We do see this on the market, such as here. Now, I think it's very unlikely, though, as we are in a very, very healthy uptrend. And overall, the market is not looking too bearish, because we're just in a correction, just like we saw right over here. I think this is just another correction. You know the deal. We might be seeing some volatility, okay, in between that $37, $38, even $40 range where we're currently at right now, okay, before we actually continue to the upside. Now, this is something we need to pay attention. Now, if we do suddenly break with a huge amount of volume, okay, this massive uptrend, the $38 with a nice strong red volume, okay, a red candle with huge volume, then yeah, it's not going to be looking too good, guys. We probably have to step out maybe if we do have some long positions. But I'm pretty confident, that this should be consolidating where we're currently at in the next coming hours and days, and then finally, stepping here to the upside. So stay cautious with volatility. Yes, we could hit 38, 39. Yes, of course. But overall, I think that we are at the very end of the correction just by looking at this kind of price action and the massive support that we got here at the $38, $40 range here for Polkadot. Guys, this is going to be it for today's episode. Make sure to check out Bitcoinsensus website. We've got the latest news and technical analysis. Check out my Bybit and PrimeXBT tutorial to learn how to trade on those platforms on the screen. Thank you, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.